Some days you've got no time, and that is today. I have basically an hour to do my hobby today, and I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe this is a good opportunity to learn where the baseline is. What can I actually do with the time that I have? 1 hour. All right, let's go. Now, yesterday, a couple of you pointed out that I forgot to change the axe. See how it hangs down beyond the base? That means that it will never sit on the table flat. Well, I kind of had an idea for that. I would basically just make like a raised base, like sculpt some cobblestone like I did for this troll. You know, add a couple millimeters. That should clear things pretty well. But then I was looking at this model and I was thinking, that axe, it looks a little ridiculous. It doesn't really look in proportion. It looks good for an ogre, but not for when you're trying to make a big orc. Can't be afraid to just break what doesn't work. I would always rather make something bad or something that misses the mark than make something safe, you know? So, for me, that's cutting this really sick axe smaller. I need a little block. Just so it's not scraping on the table, but slow and steady. Hey, that's pretty good. It's like a little rough, but that's kind of why we have files. With a quick bit of filing, I think we can straighten this up. Round off those harsh edges, because models don't typically have really sharp edges because of the casting process. So if you round it out a little bit, it's going to look a little bit more natural. Pewter is kind of a soft metal also, so we can use just a knife blade and add a little bit extra detail. Okay, so that end bit seems cleaned up. It kind of matches the rest, but also, the armor of the orc is kind of crusty. It's got chips, it's got dings. Why would this axe be perfectly perfect? Let's take our knife and just get some chunks out of that. Goal is really just to beat up these flat spots. Add character. Okay, this is a really minor detail, but notice how this back spike is super spiky? It would be really nice if this one sort of matched the same sort of attitude. That looks way tougher, right? Much more pointy, much more like this. Now, before I run into this problem later, I think I need to make this shiny bit of the blade match the rest of the surface finish. Once this is primed, this will really stand out, which is not what we want. We want it to look aged like this. So I'm going to use a little bit of gesso, and luckily I got some on my thumb while trying to open the bottle. Now, what is gesso? I don't really know. I think it's like a plaster primer, like a bit of paint, acrylic paint with plaster in it, I think. I could be totally wrong. Okay, we really want gloves for this bit because this is the worst material known to man. And if we don't use gloves, we're going to smell forever. This is plumber's epoxy, but I think in the UK I saw this as wood putty, I think it was called. It's very, very hard epoxy that dries in about 5-ish minutes. If something comes up, you know, you need to go to the toilet, you need to answer a call, anything like that, you can't. You need to use it immediately. Anything that I have to touch while mixing this stuff or using this stuff will be permanently white. Don't ask me why I've started gravitating towards this for bases. I think it's because it has a very rocky feel to it already. So the idea is I want to make cobblestones. So I start with a line and then I break off that line in a 90-degree angle. Then we break up this line maybe there. And now we have some variation in our stones. Maybe another line here. And instead of finishing all the way, what if we stop? And we add another cobblestone in this direction. Yeah. And this one. Yep. And start finessing the shapes a little. Pushing them down, trying to shape them up. Now this is nearly entirely cured, so I get my knife and I just start taking some of these top sections off. And this makes it look like slate, kind of makes it look like stone. And then before it's fully cured, we just want to make the edges rocky, make them look chipped, worn away. You can absolutely do this with Milliput. It's the exact same process, you just have a lot longer working time, and you have to wait longer before you can do this step, the carving bit. But I like using the plumber's epoxy because I like working fast. It keeps my brain going. Keeps me thinking about the next thing rather than get stuck on the present. And this is a finished base. Very nice. And now we can just glue this orc fella on. Let's quickly patch up the painting. Now we might not have much time now, but if we don't clean up after ourselves, then in the future we're going to have even less time. Gotta do it, even when it's tempting to just do literally anything else. An hour isn't very much time, and I think it's kind of important to acknowledge that, especially in like the land of social media where, you know, you can watch a 10-minute video and you can see an entire Warhammer army get made, kit bashed, painted, played on in like 15 minutes. And I don't know, sometimes I see that stuff and it makes me feel like I'm inadequate, like I'm not achieving enough. But realistically, I don't think... Actually, let's check. We've got like 10 minutes. This is what I've been able to accomplish in this time. And, you know, I'm fully equipped. I'm basically set up, ready to go. A lot of people don't have that luxury. But a lot of people that I know and I game with, the time that they have, the spare time that I have is literally an hour, maybe less. If I'm being honest, I thought I'd be able to accomplish way more than this. And I think that really helps put things into perspective for me. So I think the moral is, you know, go easy on yourself. Be kind to yourself. Acknowledge that what you can do in the limited time that you have is good enough. And if you want to accomplish big things, it's about doing those little things a little bit over time. You know, that's what my friend John always says. An hour every day, it adds up. That's how he paints all his armies. It's how he gets good at his games. A little bit every day. So it's good to know for me what an hour looks like. There it is. What have I got? Well, actually quite a lot. I've got a sculpted base. I've got a brand new axe. It's base coated. It's got a little bit of yellow, Simpsons yellow skin. But, you know, it's a start. If you're feeling a little bit insecure like I was, you got to cut yourself some slack, I reckon. Alright, now I have to go do adult things.